Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Updates. We've got some breaking news tonight out of Blackpool, England, where it seems that there are pictures circulating that suggest that the wild mouse at Blackpool Pleasure Beach is indeed gone. It has been removed unceremoniously with no announcement, no fanfare, no anything. We do know, Danny, that on your most recent trip there, that the ride was closed for maintenance, but now pictures are circulating on Reddit that the ride is completely gone. So your thoughts here?
Well, you know, you and I were actually discussing the Thrilling 32 this morning and our plan for the upcoming weeks and how we're going to do this. And we started hearing rumblings. We were sent a few pictures and showing that the ride is not there. Not that it's being refurbished, not that it's being partially dismantled and refurbished or being worked on. No, the ride is gone. The ride is gone. I mean, I was there not 3 months ago, and the ride is gone, Andy. You and I have compared to some RCDB pictures, some Google and Wikipedia pictures, also some photos that I took myself while I was over there at the end of October. And also my friend Matt, who lives over in the UK, is also talking a lot about it this morning in one of our group chats. The ride is gone. And from his indications, there was no prior announcement. It seems like this is not coming from the park directly. This is coming from maybe some employees who are there working on it. I believe the first photo that we were sent actually appeared on Reddit earlier this morning. And over in the UK, you know, it's a late afternoon by this time. You know, we're recording just before noon Eastern time on Saturday, January 6th, so it's, you know, the late afternoon, early evening over there. Matt's speculation here is that perhaps this was a planned demolition and it was timed to occur about the time that Icon is going to open to lessen the blow of what is, as I said to you, this is kind of their Coney Island Cyclone over in the UK. This is the iconic beachside wooden coaster. This is the iconic classic wooden coaster in the UK, and they don't have a lot of them over there. As I said, on our trip, over 60 some coasters on that trip, only 5 of them were wood. The Wild Mouse would have made 6, but Blackpool is the wood coaster capital of the UK. They've, you know, 4 wood coasters with the Wild Mouse going away. It was speculated that this might become a national historic landmark, or the equivalent of the UK equivalent of the National Historic Landmark, and there was thought that that was to prevent something like this from maybe happening in the future. The Wild Mouse, built in 1958, just finished up its 60th anniversary, really, in 2018, coming up its 60th season in 2017, but its 60th anniversary coming up here in 2018, and just last year had major renovations done to it to meet modern safety standards. So a lot of money put into this ride. And then just 10 years ago, had a complete refurbishment, had all the track rebuilt. The entire structure was repainted back in the off season of 2007. So a lot of money in the last 10 years or so put into this ride. It seems very odd to unceremoniously demolish such a beloved ride.
Well, I think that's the big question, and obviously we're just speculating here as to why. You know, who knows what could have happened. You know, maybe it was damaged, like it was closed when you were there. Maybe it was damaged in some sort of storm, or you know, had issues that came up.
I don't know. It's not a tall ride. It's got 2 concrete buildings on either side of it. It's very low profile. It doesn't stick up. I would have a hard time imagining and it's got the big one kind of in front of it on the beach side, maybe protecting it a little bit. And there's some buildings there, some rides on the beach side of it as well. I would have a hard time being convinced that this would have been damaged in some sort of storm unless several other rides were also damaged. Yeah. Now, we don't know if maybe like the Grand National or the Big Dipper, which is much more standalone and is unprotected, and especially the big one, even though it is a steel structure, it is a very tall structure. I'd be shocked if this was storm damage related and there wasn't also significant damage in other areas of the park.
Well, yeah, like you said, it is interesting to note that they are opening up this brand new, multi-million-dollar ride that's going to be, one of the big talks of the UK definitely next season for sure. And now all of a sudden that they're taking out this one. So it does lead one down the path of wondering, was this the plan to begin with?
Yeah, was this a strategic move?
I don't know. You get some of these old coasters, and even if you pour money into it, it's not the first time we've seen a company pour money into a ride and then have it just be taken out or completely.
Thunder Road is probably the most recent example. Spent 2 or 3 years retracting the entire thing, and then 2 years later demolished for a water park expansion. So you're right. It's not the first time we would see something like this.
So and maybe it's a get me over. Maybe they want to run one more season to get it through 60 seasons, and maybe it just ended its serviceable lifetime. So I don't know. We know that this is one that was highly ranked amongst many enthusiasts.
Very, very, very strange. I think there's a couple adjectives. I think strange is definitely one. Unexpected is another, and I think maybe a third one I would use is sad, because whether or not you're a wood coaster fan and whether or not you've ridden it, which neither of us have, you can watch POVs of it all you want, but most accounts say that if nothing else, it was an incredibly unique ride. Only 3 or 4 wood wild mouse coasters standing in the world, including this one. And talks were that all of them were very unique and very fun rides from kind of a bygone era, maybe similar to what we view Flying Turns as, where maybe it's not the best ride in the world, but it's certainly a unique ride from a time that has long passed. And if this indeed is the end for the Blackpool Wild Mouse, certainly the most iconic of the wooden wild mice would be gone, and would be a sad day for the historic side of the coaster enthusiast world.
Well, we will definitely keep you updated on this as well. We've had a pretty exciting off season here so far.
Unexpected, we had Prowler earlier this week, or not Prowler, Timberwolf at Worlds of Fun earlier this week, announcing a renovation, and now we've got an iconic wood coaster just being unceremoniously demolished. Very, very strange. Who knows what's coming next week?
Yeah, I know, right? So, as always, thanks for joining us here on COASTER-net Update. I'm, of course, Andrew Barczyk from Chicago, Illinois.
And I'm Danny Miller from Binghamton, New York.
And as always, ride on, Ride Warriors.